words can read. Hey guys, my name is Katie and welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler book review on Flawed by Cecelia Ahern. Now, I did receive an e-arc of this via NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, and I decided I wanted to purchase the physical copy because I thought it sounded interesting. I had a funny feeling that I was going to enjoy it anyway, and I'm glad that I did because I really did enjoy this book. This was just really interesting, and I thought it was different and yet unique, and to be honest guys, I just found it very hard to put this book down. So what this book is about, it is a dystopian world where we have the flawed and then we have the perfect, and the flawed are people who have done things wrong. So it might be like, you know, they helped to let someone die, or, you know, if they helped another flawed person then they do that. So it's kind of like a world where, you know, they're split into two, and obviously you have the goods and the bads, but it's kind of like the good isn't always what it seems, and obviously the leader of the perfect people, you know, there's something that's not quite right with him. And we have the main girl character, and she ends up helping this flawed person on the bus because there's like a couple of seats that only flawed people are allowed to sit in, and these two women are just sat in these flawed seats, and they're the perfect people, and they're just like yapping away, talking. This flawed person who's clearly ill, he's coughing away, he needs to sit down, he needs a seat, and these two women just literally aren't budging. And so she sort of is like, excuse me, do you mind, because this is just a flawed seat? And they're just like, what are you doing? Like, you can't possibly be helping this person. And in the end she helps him to a normal person's seat, and then the people who are called the whistleblowers, they come along and they take her away, and this is where she is then branded as flawed for helping another flawed person, even though she thought, you know, it was wrong, what she did was right. Yeah, this is kind of how she became flawed. And the most I think someone has ever been branded a flawed, and by branded I mean they put like the F, and I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of like in the light there, like there, but like that's the brand, and you get it like on your head, you can get it on your arm, you can get it on your back, you can get it on your foot, on your chest, you know, it can literally be like anywhere. It just depends on the reason why you got flawed, and no one's ever been like branded more than 3 times, and this poor girl, she ends up being branded not only 5 times, which is the maximum limit, but 6 times. So that's like her forehead, her arm, her chest, her foot, her spine, and her tongue. So those are the 6 places that she gets branded, and so therefore we watch her as she lives with this life, and her boyfriend and her family, who are obviously, you know, part of the perfect people. Yeah, so it kind of like just goes to show that, you know, perfect people aren't everything. And there's actually a really interesting thing that Cecelia Ahern put in the acknowledgements, what she said, what she wanted to come across in the book. She said she wrote this story with anger, love and passion. Every word and sentiment came from the heart. If there's one message that I hope this book portrays, it's that none of us are perfect. Let us not be afraid that we are not perfect and pretend that we are. Let us not label others and pretend that we are not the same. And let us all know that to be human is to be flawed. And let us learn from every mistake made so that we don't make them again. And so I think that message really comes across in this. I think it's a really interesting storyline as well, and it's different, and there is a sequel to this. It comes out exactly pretty much the same time as this book was released, but next year, so I've got a whole year to wait for the sequel to this. It'll be really interesting to see how this goes, because where it ends is just sort of like the unknown, and that's what I like about it, so it keeps me really intrigued for the sequel, and I do like the main girl character. I thought she was really good. I just like how this was written. It's different, it's interesting, and I definitely recommend for anybody to pick this up. So there you go guys, that is the end of my non-spoiler book review. If there's anything else you would like to know about this, please do let me know down in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer your questions. But that's it really guys, so thank you very much for watching my review. Give it a thumbs up if you can. Keep smiling, keep reading and be happy. My name is Katie and I'll see all of you guys in my next video. Bye!